everybody. Lord have mercy. The intensity of the drama in the Rewired Soul debacle. It's pretty crazy, y'all. If you want to know my opinions about it, I did a live stream a few days ago. If y'all want to watch the live stream, I have the entire thing timestamped. There are certain, there was some silliness. I was just playing around with with a royalty-free playlist, and we all had a really good time in the stream. It was really a lot of fun, and a couple of the big players in this whole Rewired Soul drama also came into the chat during the stream. So be sure to check that out. Under that, I also have a summary if you're confused still as to what's going on. I have a summary in the description box of that stream, and that includes updates of what's been going on as well. If you want to catch yourself up, I time-stamped everything. So you should not feel like you don't know where to go. I mean, I spent hours time-stamping it. Seriously, literally hours. Okay, all that said, how are we doing today, guys? So this video is the original apology that the Rewired Soul, aka Chris Boutté, put out there. I did want to commend Ashley Kyle for her quote-unquote apology to the Rewired Soul yesterday, because it was, first of all, she clickbaited him the way he clickbaits everybody else. I also, and Dustin Daly, they put out videos yesterday. Basically, you could tell by the sound of their voice, their faces, the things they were saying, how extremely, extremely upset they were. And this is the effect that this man has, this person, I don't even want to call him a man at this point, has had on everybody. I have watched this video. It's kind of fuzzy in the focus, so if you haven't seen it, don't worry, it does get better. And so many of you guys have requested this in comments that I've posted on other related videos, on my own channel, and I figured if I can do the Jussie Smollett video in the middle of all that, then I can do this video. And again, I am trying to get away from Amberlynn. I do have an Amberlynn video coming out. I do have a Q&A video coming out, but those will be later. I'm trying to make other things a priority now because I think Amberlynn needs to get help, and I'm just kind of over it, Been over it for a while, but I keep doing it because it's addicting. Anyway, so let's get started. I'm going to watch this on a slower speed, so this video might be kind of long, because he's got a lot going on. From what I noticed in the original video, the original time I watched it, he's got a lot going on with his face. He's got a lot going on with his body language, and I want to make sure that we get all of that correct. Okay, so I thought I would put this in theater mode just so that it would be a little bit bigger. The very first thing that I noticed, and you're about to see it, is that he lifts his eyebrows. That's pretty common for whenever you're greeting somebody or whatever. Sometimes when you do that, though, and I'm not saying he's doing that right now, but he may do it in the video, and I don't know for a fact whether he does it in the video or not. But I've said this before, sometimes it can be convincing sort of movement, but other times on a deeper level, and especially when combined with other body language. Now this is just like Amberlynn. It's it's filmed from the bust up, and so I can't see what he's doing with his hands. I can't see if his fists are clenched. But what you can see immediately right away is that his body language is hunched and forward, which can show anxiety. It can show aggression. Like in the Jussie Smollett interview, you can tell that it's kind of like a aggressive vulnerability, if you will. So those are the first initial thoughts.
Hey everybody, this video is
okay. So what you just saw was, hey everybody. He's got his eyes closed, right? Shutting out the world, kind of living in denial, but that's not necessarily what it means. I've said this in my Amberlynn videos, but if you're just now starting to watch my channel, whenever somebody closes their eyes for like a longer period of time. Like it's called an extended blink. Normally when somebody's talking in normal conversation, you'll blink pretty, regularly. And sometimes, for instance, in Amber Lynn's I Am Amber Lynn video, she closes her eyes a lot because she's most likely trying to recall what she's supposed to say, because obviously that was a pre-written video, and she often cuts immediately after that so that she can probably look back on her notes. But what it can mean a lot of the time, it's like an unconscious shutting out. It's like they're kind of blocking you from their sight, kind of pretending you're not there. They could be bored. They might be disinterested. It might mean that they feel higher on the intelligence scale, or they might think that they're better than you. Okay, so let's proceed. Oh, kitty. Kitty.
Everybody, this video is going to be a little bit different. My lighting is clearly screwed up. I am in a hotel room. It is currently 12:45.
He kind of tilted his head over. To me, that's kind of like, yeah, I know it's kind of late. Don't really want to be doing this either, but I have to, kind of thing.
And yeah.
Yeah. So hi, I screwed up.
So, yeah.
There was also, the corners of his mouth were turned down just then.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yep, I messed up, guys.
Trisha Paytas, I would like to...
Okay, there's a little scrunching up of his nose there. That's a disgust look, right? It's also kind of aggressive a little bit.
Apologize, because I finally understand why it felt as though I was a little obsessive making videos about you.
Oh, twisting the chin. I mean, that's obviously like a nervous habit. It's the same reason that Amber Lynn twirls her sideburns, And just for the record, this is really hard for me to do because this man has infuriated me to no end. And when people like this dude right here sit here and they bitch everybody else out for stuff he's no better than Amber Lynn. He and Amber Lynn should be roommates together. Because there's no accountability. He can say all he wants, how he feels bad, yada yada, like all those 4 videos that he came out with to replace this one. Those weren't apologies. Anyway, let's just go on. I'm just getting pissed off and I feel like I keep having to stop and whatever.
Because now it's happening to me. And I understand YouTube.
Okay, that's one thing I wanted to point out.
Like,
Do y'all see that?
I understand you.
He's squinting his eyes, he's twisting his chin, and he's shaking his head no, okay? He has a lot of animosity towards YouTube. He doesn't really understand some of the stuff that they're doing, but he's a know-it-all, so he likes to pretend like he does. And this video in particular, he acts like he's got some sort of inside connection to YouTube and how they work. He acts arrogant about everything. He is a kemosabe. He acts like he knows everything all the time about everything. And one of the videos I was watching, I can't remember who it was exactly, might have been Stormy, I believe her name was. She's talked about the Rewired Soul in live streams recently. Anyway, she was talking about how the addiction services in the mental health system are completely different than everything else. So, addicts, just because they've been through the system, it doesn't necessarily mean they understand how the system works in regards to personality disorders.
YouTube, and I can deal with it.
Here, he's doing like a circular head motion. He's pointing at his heart. He really hopes that he can deal with it, but he's really not sure because he's nodding and shaking his head at the same time.
Like, I take care of my mental health.
Darting eyes. Here, right here is interesting. I can't remember what he's about to say here, but I noticed this the first time I watched it. He's got his brows furrowed, right? Okay, so when a man furrows his eyebrows and has a sign of disgust, remember that video, the Q&A video with Becky, and she was talking about the movies she has to watch of Amber Lynn's? She did this exact same thing, okay? But he's got a little bit of animosity. He's got an aggression and intimidation. He's got disgust. He's got his eyes closing. I mean, this is a huge cluster, and we don't even know what his hands are doing. His body is still slumped. I mean, this is a huge cluster. So let's watch that again. And here you can see he's kind of squinting at the camera because he's angry. He's angry at his viewers and everybody.
Like, I take care of my mental health. I have a thing.
Ooh. Ooh.
YouTube, and I can deal with it.
He doesn't know if he can.
I take care of my
darting
mental
eyes.
health. I have a therapist. I go to.
He shook his head too. So, God, that's like 6 different things, y'all. 6, 7 different things. He's shaking his head. He's got disgust. He's being aggressive.
12-step meetings and all of that. But, again, this is a very serious video. All right?
He's doing this tongue thing a lot. Distaste, disgust, nervousness. Sometimes people do it when they're like being apologetic for something that they know that they lied about. It's kind of bizarre how that works, right? Contempt, proving someone wrong. Like, there's a lot of reasons that somebody would stick their tongue out. And it's an unconscious movement, and again, it mimics the motion that you do as a kid, like the nanny boo boo thing that you do, nanny boo boo, and you stick your thumbs in your ears and you wiggle your fingers and you scrunch up your nose and you stick out your tongue.
This chain of events.
Okay, let's watch that in slow-mo because this was, okay, like if you watch the Jussie Smollett interview that I did, the interview analysis, psychopaths and sociopaths and addicts, they kind of have the same personality traits because psychopaths and sociopaths will do whatever it takes to, and narcissists as well, will do whatever it takes to make them look better, look like a good person, want to look like they're better than everybody else. They want to present themselves. And that's what a lot of like people who do cocaine are like. It's because doing drugs like cocaine and meth and stuff like that, eventually when it builds up in your system and you're doing it a lot, it can cause grandiose thoughts and paranoia and all that, but and delusions. But what I'm about to say, and I just went off on a rant, sorry, but what I'm about to say is compared to the Jussie Smollett interview, he does very drastic, because it's a mask that he's putting on, right? He doesn't want to be doing this apology video, but he's doing it because he knows it's the right thing to do, but he doesn't really feel like he needs to be doing it. So just like Jussie Smollett, he does these drastic personality changes in the middle of it. Like, he'll be all smiley 1 second, like smiling and trying to be kind, and then all of a sudden it's just like massive aggression, like his teeth are clenched, his nose is scrunched up, and his eyebrows are furrowed, and he's shaking his head, and he's got a forward stance.
Was started by the viewer's voice, Dustin Daly, Ashley Kyle, and I'm assuming Petty Page is about to get started. Okay? And
Hi, Squish. He is placing blame. I mean, there's so many similarities between this guy and Amber Lynn. It's almost unbelievable. So this man is extremely insecure. Somebody had commented a long time ago, and if you see this, just disregard it. Somebody had commented a long time ago saying that narcissism was going to be removed in the next DSM. Nobody knows what's going to be in the next DSM, considering that the last DSM before the 5 was released in 1994. Why would they change the DSM so soon when there are still people in the mental health industry that are still trying to learn about all of these major changes that happened from the DSM-4 to DSM-5? If you didn't know, codependency and narcissism are on the same spectrum. Codependency is on one end and narcissism is on the other. You get to both ends of those, there's no helping them. It's the ones that are closest to the middle that have a chance to change. Do you see? Both are extremely insecure. There's a lot of very similar traits, and a lot of people who are codependent, who may have grown up with addicts, didn't learn the right ways to deal with emotions, they will mimic the same traits as a narcissist. But here's the thing, if you're questioning if you're a narcissist right now, you're not a narcissist. You know? Does that make sense? Okay. That's a pretty disgusting face he's making. He's got some duping delight here. It looks like he has a plan, you guys. It looks like he has a plan.
I can handle this, but Here's what we're going to talk about.
Okay, boss us around, why don't you?
Siren Cove.
And he moved forward just then. Did y'all see that? So here he's here, and then he leans forward. That's very aggressive. But he pursed his lips. See that little movement right there?
We're going to talk about.
Boink, like that. That is an indicator of distaste, distrust, and disapproval.
Siren Cove took offense.
He's also squinting. He's pissed off.
To a tweet I sent out about leaving this talk.
Did y'all see that twitch there? His teeth are sort of jutted out too. I showed y'all that in an Amber Lynn video where her jaw was jutted out. That's something Becky said, that Q&A I did. It's the same thing right here. And he is...
Tweet I sent out about leaving this...
And, I mean, he even did... Right before he did that big one, he did one right here. Watch. This is an extremely aggressive man. I would hate to be around him when he's having a tirade.
To a tweet I sent out about leaving this toxic community.
I mean, his eyes are... Ugh. Y'all, this is hard. This is really hard. It's not hard to read him. It's hard to watch him.
And this is exactly what I mean.
That was a duping delight smile right there. Did y'all see that?
People...
And you could see it in his eyes, too. Again, we're looking for clusters here. We were looking for combination of things.
People have, in the last week, with all this going on, people have reached out and messaged my girlfriend.
He's covering his mouth. I remember covering your mouth may mean that you're trying to hide an emotional reaction or to avoid smiling or smirks. So he's happy that he's gotten threatened because he views that as a way to be a victim. Okay, let's watch that again.
I messaged my girlfriend.
He's like, haha, I'm gonna get you guys.
Trying to pretend they were somebody I cheated on her with. All right? That's okay.
That's okay because now I can use that as something to make me feel victimized.
Tristan's mental health is pretty good as well.
I think he's telling the truth there.
She can deal with that. Now?
All right, nostrils flared. That was kind of a slight dupe and delight. Let's watch that in slow-mo here.
Now?
Oh, look. He doesn't look angry at all there, does he?
Channels are coming after...
He's smiling. He likes the attention.
My mother.
Again, he's happy that he has something to turn him into a victim.
Okay.
Again,
Okay.
this is the... Look at that smile, you guys. I'm going to share this on the community tab. I tell you what, that is a huge smile.
Somebody who's been working in the mental health field for 20 years.
Okay, so he did a little head shrug here. He's got his aggressive stance. He's got this intimidating-esque eye contact with the camera. He's leaning forward. His jaw is jutted out.
And that's not okay.
And that was a duping delight and a scrunched up face.
Here's what's even
He is an extremely aggressive individual. That is a very sharp movement that he keeps doing with his nose. That is something that I noticed a lot of very extremely aggressive, pissed off men do when they're reprimanding somebody.
Worse. People are now attacking.
There's another smile there for you. And a lip lick. Totally duping delight. Totally duping delight.
Those who I am associated with and threatening violence. One of my friends who made
Okay, he's covering his face up here. He's smiling there too.
picking up for me,
And he's nervously picking at his hair.
they were threatening to kick her head in.
He's not happy about them threatening her, but he's also happy about the fact that it's yet another reason to make him a victim.
All right? That's
His tongue sticking out again. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo.
very serious. Another YouTuber who stuck up for me on Twitter, these are the DMs.
He did another
that
little
she
slight
received.
duping delight with one
People
corner
are
of his
making
mouth.
fake accounts and doing this, threatening all sorts of things. Now, again, I can handle this. People have distanced themselves from me because of what's going on. I totally understand.
That was a head shake of disbelief. He really doesn't think he did anything wrong.
But this is
Still a
not
smile.
okay.
Still a smile.
Not okay at all. All right? And again,
That angry thing, y'all, that makes me sick to my stomach.
the viewer's voice, Dustin Daly, and Ashley Kyle have started this chain of events.
Man, he really believes that.
And it is now inciting violence.
Is it?
Okay? This is
And he's happy about that
the
too.
major issue here on YouTube.
He's very preachy. Extremely preachy.
The other issue is that a lot of
He did it again. He is extremely, he's so aggressive. This makes me sick.
you have crossed over into a world that you don't understand.
Oh, we don't, huh? Oh, and you do? Yet another duping delight.
Okay? You can have your opinions about me.
He shut his eyes for a long period of time. He's shutting those opinions out. He's living in denial.
And that's okay.
And did you see again? He scrunched up his nose in an aggressive disgust way.
But you do not understand the realm of mental health.
That is a very odd head nod. That is not congruent with what he's saying.
And right now, you are fueling people. You are doing exactly what you do not do. You are fueling people who also struggle with different forms of mental illness. Leafy Greens made a video talking about how she has been obsessing over this and has self-harmed.
Why is there a slight smile in there? That is messed up.
And
Did y'all see the corner right there?
has self-harmed.
I mean, honestly, you guys, I don't know how much more I can do of this. I mean, we're almost halfway through, I guess. But
And Leafy Greens, and I'm sorry if
he doesn't believe he did anything wrong. He's trying to convince her that he's sorry, but he's not sorry. Do you see that?
I said that wrong. If I have offended
I'm sorry that I said that wrong. Not I'm sorry that I said that. He said, I'm sorry that I said that wrong.
you, I truly apologize. That was never my
Aggression.
intention. But to the rest of the community,
Extremely aggressive.
you are fueling this
Oof.
within her. I just tweeted at Bipolar Corner because I am worried about Leafy Greens.
Well, aren't you just the best person in the world, Chris? The best person in the world because you're worried about somebody you offended.
Who is a pregnant woman and struggling right now, and you guys just want the tea. Okay? This is very dangerous. And if any of you know her, I hope if you can contact her, I hope that
This is all an act.
you check in and make sure she's okay. Because in my world of mental health, that's what we do for one another.
In your world, huh? In your world of mental health? In my world of mental health? Grandiose, is it not?
All right? Now,
King Chris.
this is a warning to
Oh,
you
is
drama
it?
channels who will not stop making videos. Again, I can handle it. I understand the community. Right now, my name is getting clicked.
He's shaking his head. He's so pompous. There's happiness in there. I'm gonna rewind that. He's happy that his name is getting clicked.
My name is
See that? See that? Yeah. Yep.
getting clicks. It's getting views.
Thank goodness.
That's all right.
And that tongue thing, what is he, a lizard?
Letting you know, as a fellow creator,
Right
now,
he's making my stomach drop, you guys.
as we are in the midst of Adpocalypse 2.0, YouTube and social media as a whole is taking this very, very seriously. So again, the viewer's voice, Dustin Daly,
See it?
Ashley Kyle, Siren Cove, and Petty Page, if you are working on an expose, I want you to think
that was a you better not be working on one.
and hard about this, because YouTube is not playing around. I know a lot of you do this as a hobby. I know that, but you are messing with people's livelihoods. You are inciting
He's projecting
some terrible things happening online, and YouTube is cracking down. If you care about this community, all right?
A little personal thought. You know what's really funny is that he's acting like he's got some sort of inside scoop about how YouTube works. Like he knows everything. Grandiose, grandiose.
You really need to think about what you are doing here, all right? I have another video that I have planned, and I really just wanted to not address this stuff and kind of just move forward and just do my thing and all of that and whatever, but this is getting out of hand, and my suggestion to all of you to stop this from escalating any further is you need to make a video as soon as possible covering your butt and tell people to stop. I know, Nick, from the viewer's voice, you have that disclaimer at the beginning of your videos.
He rolled his eyes.
That is not going to cover your butt if YouTube cracks down on this situation, okay? There are screenshots.
He's like living in some weird like dream world where he's the king, you know?
There's well-documented events.
And he smiled.
People threatening each other in this community.
Did y'all see that? Let's rewind it and slow it down. Yeah.
Okay. There are screenshots. YouTube cracks down on this situation. Okay? There are screenshots. There is well documented.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
Events
God,
of people threatening each other in this community, all because a DM got leaked that you guys are taking a certain type of way. Think about that. Do you want channels to start getting shut down because you are here to sip some tea? I want you to think about that real quick, okay? So I'm calling out to you fellow creators, if you care about this community, think about how you want to move forward. But as somebody with a family and as somebody with a son, I'm taking this very seriously. Over the last few days, I have watched how this is escalating, and I swear to God, once these videos start coming out about my son...
There are no videos about his son, in case y'all didn't know that. There are none. He wants there to be, so that he has more ammo, but there aren't any.
It's going to be very, very bad, okay? And I am a very serious father right now.
As opposed to not being a serious father other times, that's a very strange thing to say.
And that is not a threat. So
it is a threat.
Please think very carefully about this, okay? I'm ready to move forward.
He's fearful.
Continue doing what I'm doing.
He's angry.
If you disagree with my opinion, that's okay, all right?
If you disagree with my opinion, that's congruent because he said if you disagree, like, I don't agree.
But we are all working towards a common goal, which is helping one another.
That anger
I respect
thing, man.
what Leafy Greens is trying to do on her channel and get information out there and share her story, okay? Even though I haven't taken a deep dive into her videos.
Then how are you going to share her story if you don't even know what her story is? She's such a liar.
I respect that she has made a channel, even though Bob Corner and I disagree, okay? I respect that he has created a mental health channel to try and help people. But this is not where the drama community should be entering because you are seeing what is happening, all right? So again, Trisha Paytas.
Smiled.
I apologize because I now understand how you felt, all right? I didn't want to have to make this video, but this is starting to
Of course you didn't.
get way,
And see how he was congruent? I didn't want to have to make this video. He's acting like he had, like, it's... Ugh.
way out of hand. All right. So, anyways, sorry to make such a serious video.
Disgust.
It's a serious topic.
Shaking his head. He couldn't care less.
We'll be back to some normal content soon.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, so there you have it. That's it. That's the thing. I don't have anything else to say. I think I've talked plenty. All right. Peace, love, justice. Let's nip these little liars in the bud, shall we? Bye now.